And it was my privilege to recommend and nominate my friend John Conley from Local 110 OPSU. So round of applause now quickly. I can tell you, John joined our Health and Safety Committee for the Labour Council a few years ago, and he reminds me of the passion that a lot of us have had in the past that somehow is missing some places, but comes to our health and safety meeting eagerly, stands up in his workplace, takes on his employer, and then is so proud to come back and tell us about it. And I love hearing about his stories in the workplace, and sometimes giving a few ideas if I can. But the things, his accomplishments and achievements, and having the employer actually go, yeah, we have to do that. And so, John, thank you. On behalf of your, you may not know about the college system, but we have our academic and our support staff. As much as John is a faculty member, the actions that he does affect everyone in that building, not just the faculty and support staff, but the students, your kids that go to this college. So, John, on behalf of the Labour Council, thank you very much for everything you do. And come on up and be here.
I have a few words, and they are just a few. I know we've had quite a number of words flying around the room, all of them very good. I'd like to talk a little bit about due diligence. It's a word that we hear flying around a lot in health and safety community. First of all, I'm very appreciative of this recognition and would first like to pay all respect to injured workers, workers that have been killed, and their families everywhere. I'd like to take a moment to reflect here about due diligence as well as my experiences in the health and safety community. Now, due diligence, it is the care that a reasonable person exercises to avoid harm to other persons or their property. It just seems like common sense to me. It just seems like an extension of the golden rule. But as it applies to occupational health and safety, due diligence means that employers shall take all reasonable precautions under particular circumstances to prevent injuries and accidents in the workplace. When aggressively applied, due diligence most definitely reduces workplace accidents and saves lives. I found that it takes effective oversight with regulations, inspections, and the power of the union to ensure that this common sense rule is applied to all. It comes down to a basic difference in the application of health and safety philosophy, and that is that management believes there is economy in safety, sometimes great economy in safety. Workers believe that there should be no economy in safety other than what is reasonable under the circumstances, of course. You have to say that. You have to say that really fast, too, or management types are jumping all over you. You see, because workers, we're not really interested in saving money on safety. We're interested in saving lives. There was a while back, around 1988, when WHMIS, and that's Workplace Hazardous Materials Information System, I think most of us in this room know that, was first being implemented, and I was relatively new, hire at Fanshawe College. I decided to volunteer for the Train the Trainer program, a similar program that Len was referring to earlier, so as to help ingratiate myself to the employer. I soon realized that I had a very, very complex workplace with elements of a factory and a hospital and all points in between. And I started to see things differently and found a way to apply my activist tendencies to help in a way where I could actually see results from my actions. After a time, my local placed me on the Joint Health and Safety Committee, JHSC, at the main campus of Fanshawe College. And I discovered that the JHSC at Fanshawe College was dysfunctional and indeed the laughing stock of the college system. But through relentless application of the Occupational Health and Safety Act, the Act, some controversies, many confrontations, and even a respect complaint against myself, the management makeup of the committee changed. And since the local believed in me and management could not get rid of me. Management started to work together with the workers, and things started getting better and things started getting accomplished. Inspections were expanded. We also had greater investigations. Meetings became actually more productive. Effective health and safety liaisons with our ever-expanding satellite campuses were happening. Indeed, networking with other JHSCs in and out of the college system were being created and maintained. And worker members were instrumental in getting smoking off campus. I was even used as a resource to help facilitate the cannabis policy for Fanshawe College when Pot Liberation Day was fast approaching. It seems that I've become the face of health and safety, a face of health and safety at school. And that visibility has helped me to help workers to feel more comfortable to report infractions, incidents, and near misses, make observations and suggestions, and sometimes just some good old-fashioned venting. And that's all part of due diligence as well. Due diligence is knowing where the exits are. It's knowing that there's a fire extinguisher over there. It's being on inspection all the time. It's a way of life. It's like in a grocery store, I walk by a fire extinguisher, I check the certification date. You just can't help yourself sometimes. And while the work I do for health and safety is rewarding, it is indeed its own reward. But to be honored in this way, on this important and solemn day, by this body, by these people that I truly, truly do respect and admire, and have learned so much from, it's truly humbling, and I thank you all.
Woo! Yes.
See you on the strike line.